Good morning. Good morning. All right. Thanks everybody. It takes a minute to get organized. Right. So we left off. Did upgrade 5.2 this morning. It's okay. A few tools in here. It's add primitive things. So you can put a cylinder on here. Voila. Which would have been handy earlier on. You want to add a cone, that would be a nice orange, right? It's in horn. Over on here. Oh. That would have been handy. So that's nice. It's a nice thing they've added in. And they got this projector, which I have to have a separate. I guess I could put different mesh in and try that out. That seems pretty straightforward to use. Trying to figure out if there's a way of setting up a new trim brush preset. I don't see a brush on it. It's really trim. I mean, there's like this one right here. Skull. But that's not really more for the kind of where you can trim lasso. Basically, you come over to lasso instead of cutting it into the model. You can have it geometry. The grid doesn't bother me. No? I mean, I can turn on off. Doesn't really matter. It's not oppressive. Does it bother you? Turn off the axes and the board. Yeah, so there's some other things in here too, I guess. I'm not what I would call. I never defined myself as a blender expert. Kind of a fan of it. I wanted to start doing some studies, and I've been going back and forth for the last while, trying to figure out what exactly it is I wanted to do. You haven't sculpted in 3 years. I haven't sculpted anything really in a while. The last thing I sculpted, I think, was in Nomad Sculpt. So I'm a little rusty myself. But yeah, so they have some new little things in here that I think are handy. And I know they've updated the sculpting engine in the last few versions, so it runs a lot faster. Which is really good. So that way you can. I mean, it's not quite ZBrush level in terms of that depth, but it's a lot better than it used to be. So last time we were still cleaning up some of the forms on here, and I think we'll still do a little bit more of that. I do want to separate the major horns into their own objects here. That way I can sculpt around it more easily. I don't generally consider myself like a 3D expert. I'm more of a fan. So I like to say so. I like doing it, but I haven't really done a lot of 3D professionally. A little bit, not a little bit. A long time ago, a little bit. But Yeah, I think sculpting is really important. Physical sculpting, especially like the real sculpting. But that's kind of one of the things over the years I've wanted to like get to know. I've done a few things in it recently in the last few years, kind of focusing on it more. But it actually takes me a minute to remind myself that it's not ZBrush all using all set of control. But it's yeah, I think it helps you see the forms better. I mean, I'm a pretty good draftsman, I think. You know, maybe I'm overestimating my capacity, but I feel pretty confident about my drawing. Oops, what did I do there? I didn't want that. And things like programs like Blender are really deep with what they do. Things I liked about Sculpt. Good morning. Is the fact that it does one thing basically. I guess that does go back more like that. That's better. So this is a horned toad. If you're not from the United States, it's a lizard. And from the southwest. These are some different species of it. I'm mostly focusing on this one. I think these are actually the same lizard. Maybe. No, maybe not. But the same species. Like this one's a little bit different than this one. The horn layout's different. This one's a little different. I did add in this though to the other one. So I feel like this guy's pretty close to that one, but not quite. But they're a lizard. They're not very big. You know, like I don't know, that bigish, like with their tail. And anyway, they're pretty dynamic looking. You see like they lay flat like that. Sharp scales. But one interesting things that they do though as a species is if they are threatened, they will squirt blood out of their eyes. So they will stare you down and shoot blood out of their eyeballs at you. Out the corner of their eye. Which I think is pretty great as far as like a lizard power goes. So leave me alone. Shoot blood out of their eyes. So, yeah, I think sculpting is really good for one thing. Doing human sculpt is really good. I thought about doing this on the stream, but I was thinking, well, if I do it, though, I probably would just like do the. Maybe I should do like an crochet or something with a skeleton. Actually, I have a setup for that to do that with clay from when I was in grad school. Fell apart, so I was gonna redo it. Never got around to it. It'd be good for me though. Wrong spot. Push that out. Whoa. That's a big one. Is that a school project? Yeah, the crochet I did, I think it was wasn't that big. We only did the skeleton. In school. I was in the academy. If they were kind of more traditional-ish school. Focus on kind of ground level skills that you don't get a lot of places. And hitting 40. Okay. Old man. Past your prime. It's all over. Right? Okay. Well, in that case, you're okay. Oh, look, we got ourselves a bot. Here. Bam. So yeah, I just turned 48 this year, so my dog turns 10. Is that masked? If I do. Lightning's 5. Rolling out the door, huh? I'm gonna try this cone thing here. And then it's not symmetrical, I guess. Plane axis, add cone surface. Alright, so we'll just have to do that separately. How about we go with merge, and then symmetrize. There it is. Well, I appreciate it. It takes a while to acquire skills and be comfortable with them and all that jazz. So I need to get rid of that guy. It's the wrong spot. It's like, I had a student ask me last semester in class, hey, so how long does it take for, draw or you paint something that comes out exactly like you intended it? And I was like, never. I thought that was a funny question. To me. I mean, I got what they were trying to say, but it was more like well. It's more about the negotiation or however you want to put it with the there's more being what I want. Bigger though. There we go. So we can put a big corner right here, like boop, boop. Look at that. Magic, right? Yeah. So yeah, Blood is like also
things I want to get better at anyway.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Destroyed your
painting. That's rough. There we go. Smooth out.
Yeah. It would have been nice to have had that brush earlier. Really trying to get these neck flippings.
Maybe that's what I should focus on.
Push this back. What do I teach? I teach Virginia Commonwealth University in the Communication Arts Department. Which is effectively an illustration program. Used to be called commercial arts, and I guess they got embarrassed by that. Stopped. Which I thought. I always think that's a silly approach. Like it's, own it. Be the department that says, hey, we're here to help you build a career in professional arts. But they get people finicky about that in universities. I don't get why. I feel like it's a bad thing. It's a sin. It's a sin. And I don't agree with that attitude at all. Like they're afraid. We're here to help build a future. Which but mostly a good crew of teachers. It's the largest department, because of that commercial focus. And we're making a lot of changes. There was some pushback at the very end, but a little bit late for that. But I think would be helpful. That I've been trying to push through. I also teach online on my own little website. Most it's perspective stuff right now. I think is really helpful. The general stuff, and technical stuff. And I do offer consultations for those that are interested in them. So critique sessions or feedback or whatever. That's all set over there. So yeah, well, it's actually something that's not very taught very well at all. Even I went through pretty intensive illustration-specific program. It's really hard to get in. And very rigorous. But one thing that a lot of schools don't focus on very well is the business side. It's a very, very common problem. It's a problem I've always had. Struggled with is how do I present myself in a way that makes my work attractive? And I found some ways of doing that over the years, like how I write introductory email properly. Potential clients, and send that out to lots and lots of people. Or I learned to do that. Made a difference to me a while back when I was more focused on professional activity. Which I should. I'm working on my own thing. Right now, but that doesn't work out. I'll jump back into that. But learning to do that made a big difference for myself. My voice is being doubled. Let's see if I can figure out what's causing that. There's a microphone right there. Any other audio? Don't hear any audio. Oh, look, I see where it is. How's that? Is that better? Zaborn identity, maybe? Is that working better? Well, you'll hear it fine on Instagram because that's a different setup. I'm streaming on YouTube and Kick and Twitch all at the same time. And so there's a separate microphone just for that. It's not my phone. Yeah, it looked like there's another microphone that's turned on for some reason. Yeah, that's better? Okay, good. Is it loud enough? Okay, I guess I can move the camera. I have a whole setup for my should just get one of those for this, I guess. Maybe? I don't know. I have a whole setup for my desk that's over on my right, and it's that's where the streaming computer is at. I have an old MacBook Pro that I bought a long time ago. So, yeah, thanks for telling me. Yeah, the other day I was streaming for like an hour or so, and I didn't have the microphones on at all. So, there's always that. I'm not sure which is worse. That's probably less worse because it's less it's less annoying noise. But yep, always welcome to join. So where was I? Before I found out I was not this guy. First. So yeah, someone was asking the other day, like, why are my brushes at the bottom? And apparently that's just where they are. You can't really move them. And you can create a separate scene and then drag it up, but it's not really a fix for putting them in the correct spot. You can use the spacebar to select brushes, which maybe I should start doing. Build that habit. But that'll bring up the selector in here. Yeah, I've gone back and forth. So I started out on PC. My dad was a Mac person, so that's what we kind of had in the house when we first got a computer. When I was, I think graduated from high school. We had our first little in-house computer. But my dad was Macs his whole life. My first personal computer was a PC. And then I switched to Macs at one point, mostly just because I liked kind of how it all worked together, especially in the early iPhone era. Airdropping, all of that. I really liked how the whole ecosystem kind of merged really, really well. And then a few years ago, I built this PC. I was like, I'm going to switch back to PC and we're going to build one. So I'm comfortable with both. Like, it doesn't really affect me too much. There's a couple things I do like about Macs in terms of just like their operating system layout is the columns in the Finder windows. I do like that. I wish we had that over here. And I like the color tagging. But I don't think it's worth the price of admission. But both of those things I did like quite a bit from Mac. iPad, of course, is incredible. It's a pretty. I don't think any other tablets really caught up just yet. Maybe it's a software issue now. Let's say it's going to be like rotated. So I think we'll do is we will grab that. What else is on? Widget, and then what is it? Shift? No. Orientation cursor. I don't remember what the shortcut here was for moving it around. Shift. Shift. There we go. Shift right click. That's what it was. Should be able to unlock it and move it, but I guess not. All I really want to do is that. And then scoot it back over. For today, I've been on for about an hour, I think. Double check. Let's see over here. No, half an hour. I've probably on for like another hour. This is my what I call my morning study. So this, I like to take like a bit of time every day and work on something that I want to understand better. So I've actually been doing this for a while, but not on stream, because I was doing working on like material nodes, which is you know, not the most exciting, visually interesting thing to observe, I would think. But so that's what I was doing for a while. And I was like, all right, let's shift over to sculpting. And there's something I wanted to do for a while, and I looked at some of the basics behind it. And here we are. Lifetime, a long time ago I started, but I've been kind of intermittent from time to time. So I don't know, since 2016 or 17, something like still 17, off and on. Yeah, sometimes I'm consistent on it, other times I'm not as. So I should get to like a more regular schedule, but that's a better layout there for these horns. Back these folds. So I think that's definitely a big me problem. I kind of stopped, I think, a lot during COVID, which actually probably would have been a good time to do more. Changed this brush. What did I change? That's the shift. That's probably what I changed was the shift depth. So, yeah, I like it. I do recognize art streams aren't the most interesting ones. I've kind of looked to see who's popular at different times of the day, just out of curiosity. See what's working for people. And it seems like a lot of the most popular ones are all VTubers, which, you know, I think the VTube thing is just kind of annoying. But maybe people like it, but you know, it wouldn't be. It's not for me. So I see a lot of that. If I go to like Kit's art page or whatever. YouTube is weird because it's not really a like a streaming dedicated discovery process over there. But it's definitely where the largest follower count is in terms of the streaming outside of Instagram. It's much larger for me. But but I do multi-stream, so I figured out how to do that on OBS and got that all set up over there, so I can see what happens. Twitch is, I think, the worst. I have it up, but I almost never get anybody watching anything ever over there. I get a lot more out of Kit actually than Twitch. And that's supposedly a much smaller space, from what I understand. Let's see. Cuts back over this one. I do a couple things on my stylus here to help me out. Like one is that if I press the front button on the stylus, that lets me change my brush size real easy. And then the back one is for moving stuff around. And this is when I hit the shift key to change brush size. That changes the intensity of the brush stroke, what I accidentally changed before. And I've had some past experience, doing a lot of ZBrush stuff, and so I keep trying to hit the Alt key to cut in, and it's just the exact wrong one to use. But I try to have all my programs set up so that the front button does that. So whether it's in Photoshop or Affinity or ZBrush, I think in ZBrush it brings up the S. You use the S sizing key or something like that, if I remember correctly. The problem with the 3D computer stuff is there is a technical hurdle to overcome. So there's definitely challenges to it in terms of getting through the program. That's not the button I want to press. So I make mistakes all the time, where it's like, what did I do? If you're looking for like an easy way in, I recommend Nomad Sculpt. It's inexpensive. It's kind of like ZBrush. It's not as in-depth as ZBrush if you're looking to learn the sculpting stuff, but it's really, really good. Nomad Sculpt, Nomad. It's on the iPad actually, and works really great there. And he ported it over to PC and Mac last year. It's relatively simple to use. There's tons of tutorials on it. It's focused on the sculpting aspect. I think it's $35 on the computer, $15 on an iPad. It's pretty popular. And I like it. I've done a few things in it that are relatively finished. But it's really, really, really simple. So I just bring it up here real quick. So that's how you start with, and there's like your brushes over here. You can add in new brushes. You just start sculpting, and they have a bunch of handy tools and things in here for making these more complex. Like you can add in these tubes. If you're trying to make something that's got, throw that in real quick. And all the settings for it up here. So like you want to give it a profile. If you're making like a snake or some kind of construction thing. It's really, really easy to use. And ZBrush is really complicated and messy, but this is really nice. And then if you validate it, then it turns into like something you can sculpt on. So it does have a lot of nice, like you can go a lot more in depth with the settings and everything in it. There is, I think he does have like a web-based version. If you go to the website, there's like a version you can try kind of in browser. But yeah, you got your trim brushes. You can cut things out real easy. And they have a lot of this stuff in Blender too, but the problem with Blender is you do have the problem of it being. These are brushes that the people have recreated from ZBrush and brought over here that I found, added them in. Just to make my life a little simpler. But you can do certain types of texturing and things like that, but I like it. The Blender's a little harder just because there's a lot more kind of technical aspects to it, where there's a lot of buttons, right? You look at the screen, you compare this screen with the Nomad Sculpt one. There's just a lot going on here. Which can definitely be hard. And then getting into the mindset of 3D can be difficult as well. But Blender's free, which is great, and everything. But it is definitely, there's a lot in here, and that can definitely be difficult to get into. It's like if you open up Clip Studio Paint for the first time, there's a lot of stuff going on there. I think that's why a lot of people really like Procreate on the iPad, because it's so simple. I think there's actually better apps for painting on your iPad than Procreate. Like what I prefer is Infinite Painter. It does a lot of things Procreate doesn't do. There's a few things Procreate does that it doesn't do, like you can't paint over 3D models in it. But for the most part, like it does a lot of stuff that I really like. It's like $10 or something. Infinite Painter. I think there's an Android version too. And I've worked with them in the past. I know the guy who makes it. But yeah, I think you can actually get Nomad Sculpt. You can buy it directly from them. I think it's a little bit cheaper on the website. It is on Steam, so you can get it there too. is also pretty nice. Yeah, I think it costs a little bit more for the Steam tax or whatever, but I bought it from the website. The buying process is a little bit confusing because basically what you do is you buy it and then it gives you like a code, and the download is a separate thing. So you go over to the download page to grab it, and then you put your license in or you log into it, whatever, however it worked, I forget. But so, yeah. If you are having trouble, like that's a great place to start. There's a lot of depth inside of the programming. There's a lot of different things we can do. But like just getting into the sculpting process is really fast and easy. And even I could figure it out. So. Let's go up to here. This is a horned toad, so I don't know if you're familiar with them. I don't know if you're wrong when I was talking about them before. But it's a lizard from the American Southwest. Might be in Mexico too, but like Arizona and New Mexico area, maybe Colorado. These are pretty hot temperatures, so these don't go too far north. So the hardest part of sculpting is sculpting. So it's not even like the technical hurdles are hard, but learning to understand form and practicing that is important. So I've got some reference sources up here for this particular lizard. It was kind of like Southern graphics. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's the hard part. It's always the sculpting. If you're aware of that, that's good. That would be helpful. Like I haven't really sculpted much in a while, so that's part of the struggle here. It's not just what buttons to press inside of Blender, but how do you go from that to really feeling out the form? Like these folds right here are a bit of a challenge for me. Push it in. Out, push it in, smooth it out, push it in. There's like a ridge here where it's horns meet up. But this goes pretty deep in here. That's a little bit better. The part is I like to have my shortcuts set up like I do, so that they're kind of the same. It's like one less thing for me to think about when I'm working. Like whose shortcut is where and why, and who did I get set up with what, and if I can kind of unify my shortcuts across applications, that helps a lot. Though it does make things a little bit confusing in the classroom sometimes because with the students. They've got things set up on their computers their way, and they're often like very hesitant to update. Like this thing I do right here, where I press the button on my stylus and change the brush size. I have that set up for all my programs, as close as I can get it. That will have a good one. I got mine right here. So first thing in the morning, right? It's 8:44 where I'm at. So. So I wouldn't mind getting up here a little bit earlier. It was a little bit of a slower. I slept in a little bit this morning, which actually I probably need to do more of. Like I don't usually get 8 hours of sleep. Pretty rare. I think I got 6 even, according to my little sleep tracker. Yeah, I'm in Richmond, Virginia. Ontario. Okay. Great far north. So you're not a VC hipster type. I have a couple of friends who, a married couple, they live out in outside of Vancouver, further west, and they do tattoos. They're classically trained realist painters, and they found out that that's a hard road to haul. So they kind of dropped that almost completely. Like they do it kind of a little bit here and there. They went to Portland, trained with some tattoo people, doing like the high end, like super detailed tattoos, and that's their business now. Is tattooing. But the photorealistic stuff is what they do. So they're in high demand, especially with tattoos being so cool all of a sudden. The last 10 years or so, all of a sudden, everybody's all about the tattoos. And it's never had any interest for me at all. But, a lot of people really like it. So. looks like they're trying to push daylight savings time is like the standard time for like production to change, and I think I was reading that they've done that once before. Nobody liked it because it's too like the schedule's wrong. It needs to be daylight standard time to be like the default time everywhere. But like to maximize daylight. But so we'll see if that lasts or if that goes through all the way. I think they ought to do it the other way, where it changes over in the fall, then that's when you like leave it that way, rather than leaving it as it is now. Don't ask me these questions. That's why I'm trying to move the model. Should I go for stop? splitting its horns off. Now, let's start with the big guy. Let's see, the back face masking thing here. Front face is not very good. Good. Now, let's see. So here, mask slice to new object. I've done that before, so let's see how this looks. Yep. All right, good. It's probably label stuff, huh? Or got big. This would be head. One split off. So the next one. Clear that off. Split you off. Mask. Slice to new object. Actually, we're going to do this one. Rest. Big. Actually, we're going to do this one first. You. slice. Good morning, good morning. We're slice some stuff off this one. We're actually getting 5 and 4. Let's see what I have to do. You next. So, all right, now we're going to do 4 jobs. There. Try it this way this time. I think faster to do it when I do it all at once. I forgot to delete that. Remember, it's been a while since I've done this. Separate by loose parts, that sounds right. Hey, we did it. Alright, so what I'm going to do is go through and delete one side. These are all mirrored in sculpt mode. So we've got mesh one. Right there. You will need so you will be horn, jaw. I like to keep things organized a little bit. So what's this? Here's that. There we go. Symmetrize. Wrong side. this. Sure. Back is oh, here. All right, those ones split up. So now it's the neck. Save it. Four. Side. Separated by these parts. Good. Day. Let's see what I can make. Copy. And back into sculpt and centralize. Perfect. It was all very exciting, right? Mask. Forms. All the time. Save. Alright, so next, I think we're going to go through sculpt. Really just like clicking on. Then you can go over here. So into remesh all these guys. Alright. Almost out of time, so I think what I want to do is kind of smooth out. Use the wrap around. Somebody's going to get a bath today. Poor dog. He doesn't know that word, so. Probably much time. Hey, Wash. Dog decided to come over and visit. He's behind me. He only has 2 beds in this room, so it's a challenge for him to get around. One under each desk. the actual head itself a little bit, and then move along. So you next. Pretty boring, basically just smoothing things out and then pushing them in. After separating them originally. So make sure to fill out this space pretty well. Almost there. Here's a little productivity tip for anybody that wants one. Ones I've found always help me is it's helpful to kind of stop working on something at a certain time, obviously, but it's also helpful to kind of stop when you know what you're going to do next. And that's actually a tip I've never really heard anyone say before, so I think it's like my little thing. But the idea basically is a lot of times you sit down to work, you know, when you come back to a project, you don't always know exactly what you're going to do. So if you instead came back to a project, you know, at the moment, you know, knowing what you're going to basically do next, that I think can help you get started, right? So you sit down, you're not trying to think about what you're doing next. You already know what you're going to do next. Like my plan today was like review a little bit of the forms, make sure those are working okay, and then I want to separate these horns off. So that was kind of today's plan. So knowing that, and then so next time I come back, I want to kind of clear up what's going on with how the horns are connecting in, start detailing them, clean up their forms, work on these bolts some more over here. And I think that would be a good place to start. And then hopefully we can start getting into some of the details and things to start bringing to a finish. Like we're going to do one of these a week, basically, for the next while. Some lizards, maybe some fish, some mammals, maybe some birds. And have a whole bunch of these done. You want to look at like claws and feet and things like that too as part of this. But a little study project here. So, anyway, I think that's a good spot to pause. It's been a little over an hour and a half. And call it a morning study. So, appreciate everybody that came in. And we'll talk to you all later.